Hello there, men, and welcome to the Masculinism Movement channel, a place for men to be men and talk about men's rights and issues. I'm your host, Brian Krall, and today I want to talk to you about how women's issues count and men's don't in this gynocentric society because we live in a matriarchy. Men's issues get marginalized or completely ignored in favor of female issues. Social issues that primarily affect men do not generate awareness or become acknowledged as a serious issue that needs to be solved until it affects women. But once it starts to affect women, then it becomes known as a real issue. For instance, testicular cancer occurs far more than breast cancer, but there is tons of awareness and activism programs for helping women with breast cancer and hardly any for helping men with testicular cancer. And there are plenty of problems that face men, such as workplace deaths and suicide, that largely go ignored. But when women start to feel so much as depressed, or feel like workplace conditions are unfair, or God forbid they are ever uncomfortable even, suddenly there's a ton of awareness and activism for those causes. Even systemic political and legal discrimination against men is either accepted or unnoticed, as the entire socio-political system we live in is radically biased towards women, and it is not seen as an issue. Just think about any social issue that affects women, and then ask yourself if it affects men, and is still seen as an issue in that case. Now, think about any form of sexism against women that feminism has created awareness about, and ask yourself if it is also done to men and seen as sexism when it is. The answers should be clear, but in case they are not, below I have provided some sources that I cited in order to prove my case. So let's look at the first link here, which comes from the website Listverse and is 10 examples of men's issues the media loves to ignore. Serious issues like violence and depression and education and domestic abuse. So make sure you take a look at that list so that you know at least what the top 10 are. And then the next citation is on the systemic discrimination against men. In fact, it provides 24 indicators of systemic discrimination against men in society. So it is undeniable. So make sure you check out all 24 of those points. And lastly, let's take a look at the systemic misandry in society with an article from a website called Woke Father, which is a pretty thorough expose about the different forms of misandry in society with some different facts and figures there, which is a very good supplement to the article that I've written on misandry, which is also linked there below. So make sure you check out that expose as well. But I believe the point has been made that there are obvious issues here for men and that they are getting ignored in lieu of women's issues, which don't even affect them as badly or as much, and that there is a clear bias and double standard in society favoring women and their issues and rights and everything, and ignoring men's. And technically, this is called sexism. I mean, any sort of unfairness to women is called sexism by feminism, but obviously there's some serious unfairness and injustice being done to men with their issues here. And they are not treated as equals, and their issues are not seen to count because they are not seen as having the same human rights as women, because we live in a gynocentric, matriarchal society that is female-centric, and women's issues simply are the only ones that really matter, and men's don't, unfortunately. So if the case is closed there, you have all the proof you need below, and that concludes this talk. Thank you for listening. Be sure to share your own thoughts and opinions by commenting below, especially if you have experienced unfairness with your issues as a man in life. Be sure to share your experiences below as well. And if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button and share these messages with everyone by sharing the video on social media and talking about these things as well. And lastly, check out the links in the description below for other resources for your masculine personal development, living the life you want to as an independent man. And stay tuned for the next video coming up soon, which will be on the legal biases in the judicial system that favor women and not men. And make sure you subscribe so you'll be notified when that is. And otherwise, take care of yourselves, men. There's no woman out there who's going to.